Welcome to the 2022 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday, October 6, 2022. Well, the jobs report on Friday is coming out, ladies and gentlemen, and it could be a good news. They could spin it either way, but we're not looking for too much good news because the inflation and the number of job openings is going down. And so in normal times, quote unquote, the CNBC.com says strong job gains and rising wages would be considered a good thing. But these days, this is exactly what the U.S. economy doesn't need. And the reason they're hinting at that is because they're wondering the Federal Reserve Bank has another meeting coming up soon in November or December where they're going to be hiking rates again by 75 basis points. And so if we get an encouraging or a positive jobs report on tomorrow, according to them, to the media and to other financial pundits, then that means that the Federal Reserve will be committed to even more hikes next year in 2023, and that's not going to be good news for this economy, as it's going to be slowing down, continuing to slow down here massively in the next year if we get 3 or 4 more additional rate hikes into next year. And so this is what they're looking at here. And so we're just in unnormal times now, different times where it's not the fundamentals of the stock market, the fundamentals of the economy is broken, and we're in an economy where basically bad news is good news and good news is bad news, like Vincent Reinhart said, chief economist at Dreyfus Mellon. So another article said why the Federal Reserve won't be so quick to ease up on its fight against inflation. Now, we all know that the food, gas, utilities costs continue to rise in all areas of American life. And this is not going to continue to come up. Remember, guys, we started this fight above 9% inflation, basically, according to the official numbers. And we'll only come down to 8.2% inflation as of October, last month, September. So they got a long way to go before they get down to the target goal here, Chairman Powell, of 2%. So you can imagine the number of hikes they have to do to get to that down, real inflation down to 2%. So economist Joseph Brazel says in the worst case scenario will look something like a 5.5% unemployment rate and 3.5 million jobs lost. And then if the Fed goes too far, they say that the economy could risk a long-term recession. And so right now, it's pretty clear, guys, there is no soft landing that's going to be happening with this economy. The personal savings rate in the U.S. has dropped down to 3.5%. Many people are burning through extra cash and different things, just trying to, get the daily necessities or shore up their preps before everything gets more expensive. Because every month that we wait, it's more expensive for security measures, austerity measures, food, medicine, clothing, kids, supplies, transportation. Whether you're getting a used car or whether you're moving houses to a different geographical area, getting a U-Haul, and all that stuff becomes more and more expensive as we continue to go through the fourth inning of this collapse, where basically personal expenditures for all Americans and savings have been dwindling in the last couple months, and credit card balances have been increasing in the last 2 months. So this is very, very concerning. And it's going to continue because and I don't know if you heard that in London and England they may have on the verge of a mortgage crisis, and in Lebanon, I don't know if you noticed, in Lebanon you guys have seen where people have been trying to get their money out the ATMs and the banks that were holding it, and they're also saying that they're going through a currency crisis there in Lebanon. Now back home, according to MarketWatch.com, Biden says officials' ban on gasoline exports still on the table as White House quote unquote responds to the OPEC supply cut. So now OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, there's only about, I don't know, there's more than 7, but there's no more than 15 of these type of members here. Of course, with the Saudis, one of the chief members of the board there for OPEC. That means gasoline prices are going to be going up heading into this midterm. Many of you guys have already anticipated that would be the case. Average price of a natural gasoline gallon of unleaded gasoline is now at $3.92 and climbing for the average national average. California still at $6.40 something for just regular unleaded. So, guys, things are going to go up. Food is going to go up all right before the midterms and continuing after the midterms, regardless of who wins or who doesn't win. Most of the midterms, the prices are going to continue to go up. And now we're also using, don't forget, guys, we're also using our strategic petroleum reserves right now. President Biden has released more of the strategic petroleum reserves, and that was supposed to alleviate the prices in the short term, and it has failed to do that. Gas has only come down a little, 4 or 5 cents, and now it's going to be shooting up higher than that. So don't be surprised to see gas be in other areas of the country, excluding California, top $4 a gallon again, maybe $4.30, $4.40, $4.50 a gallon for regular unleaded, which is going to be just crazy. And food prices are not going to come down. And also another expense that's going to come up is retail goods like clothing, supplies, and electronics. They're going to come up too, for like cell phones or TVs, or if you need a new refrigerator or a water heater, or if you're getting appliances. All that's going to come up starting in the wintertime. So this wintertime is going to be very interesting as you head into the holiday season, where we're supposed to have seasonal jobs come into play. Let me know if the seasonal job market has increased. Are there more signs for UPS, FedEx, Amazon Prime workers, flex workers? These vans. Do you see more hiring signs for that? Are you considering getting a seasonal job in addition to your regular job that you may have? Or if you're retired, are you considering going back into the workforce part-time to make ends meet and to get more prepping supplies? Let me know what you're doing in the comments below, and we'll get back with you tomorrow when the big day with the jobs report and also the earnings report. And also we're going to get the third quarter closing numbers for GDP coming up here next weekend, and that's going to be the big weekend too, to decide if we're in another negative quarter of GDP in the third quarter. That will mark the third consecutive quarter. We will definitely know that we will be in a recession by then, according to the official economists. So thank you for joining me on this quick episode. I look forward to talking to you very soon on Preach to Me. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends, cohorts, and neighbors if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you.